Hello and welcome. I'm Uday Pratap Singh. You're joining us on this special interview as part of our NewsX series. We're in conversation today with actor Manjari Fadnnis. Manjari, thank you so much for being with us today. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Uday.
Let me begin, Manjari, by asking you about Chalti Rahe Zindagi, your new film, of course, which is streaming on Z5. It looks very, very special. Firstly, what appealed to you about the project? It's, of course, through lockdown. What appealed to you about the project?
So the most important thing that appealed to me was our director, Aarti Bagri. So Aarti and I have been friends since a very, very long time. And we had done a project called Khamakha together, which still has been getting so much love from audience and all. It was a short film made for YouTube for Hamara movie. And that got an unbelievable response. And it won a Filmfare that year and everything. So I'm aware of the kind of films Aarti likes to make, which is they're very heartwarming films. They're slice of life. The narrative is so pleasing, and it always has a bit of a message without being preachy, at the same time being entertaining. So I really like her narrative whenever she's making these projects. So that was one thing, and of course, it was a very beautiful story. So, I mean, when she came to me with this project, they had already finished shooting one story of this thing with Indraneel and Barkha that was shot entirely during lockdown. Then she had actually that was supposed to be just a short film. But then she came up with this whole brilliant idea that why don't we make a feature and we make 3 short stories of 3 different families living in the same society during the lockdown, and how their lives have been affected by it. So my part of the story was basically a story between these 3 generations of women living together. So I'm playing the character of Naina, who is a Kathak dance teacher. And because of lockdown, now she's resuming while giving online classes. So she's the sole breadwinner of the family. She's a widow. She's a widow. She's taking care of her mother-in-law and her little girl, and how she's dealing with the craziness of the whole mad OCD issues which my mother-in-law has, because it's like a really bad case of OCD. So how she's dealing with that situation. So it was a very sweetly written story, and of course the way Seema ma'am played it was so brilliant. It was she brought in, while being serious about a genuine issue of OCD, she brought in so much of comedy elements into it.
I was just coming to that, how it was for you working with her. She's a legend. She gives so much of gravitas to any roles and films she's part of. So for you, being with her on sets, emoting with her.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Uday, in fact, this is the first time people are going to watch her in a comedy role. Because even though it's a serious performance of a person who's going through OCD, she has brought in so much beauty into that role, that little bit of all those little quirks, those nuances. So while the audience will feel what she's feeling, at the same time they will have a little laugh, because she's so good. She's brilliant, and the way it's written is also so beautifully executed by Aarti and everyone. So I was very excited over it.
Okay. Also, we've noticed, in the last few years, you're balancing your OTT releases and also, theatrical releases. Is that a conscious effort from your side, Manjari, or is just something happening your way, where you have a project like The Freelancer, which is on OTT, you have now Chalti Rahe Zindagi, which is on OTT, but then you also have films, like UP Files just released recently, and other, theatrical releases as well. So is it a conscious decision or just happening?
No, it's not a conscious decision. It's just happening, because I think as an actor, you just work as an actor, whether it's an OTT platform or it's a theatrical, it's a feature film or whatever, because as an actor, my job is just to try to bring in my character as authentically as I can, whatever role I'm playing. And beyond that, it just happens. So I don't think it's not a conscious effort, no.
Okay. Now, when I say the word Zindagi to you, what comes to your mind first?
Zindagi? Traveled. I mean, that's the
Okay.
first thought, first word. I think life is about a journey. Life is about traveling. Life is about meeting new people on your journey. So yeah, I guess that's what life is.
Okay. Travel. That means Manjari is quite a traveler in personal time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I love traveling. I'm very happy doing solo travels. I mean, like, I don't wait for company. If I can, I just go.
Okay. And of course, there was no travel during lockdown. That's what your film also is, of course, showing. We all experienced it. For you, I have to ask you, just taking you back into memory lane, what was the biggest lockdown learning for you, lockdown lesson for you from that time that we all lived through, from 2020 to 22?
So my biggest lesson I would say was valuing your close people and your family. I mean, not that I valued them any less earlier, but you know how it is. When you move out from your family home when you're working.
Yeah.
Like I moved out when I was 16, 17. So I started really early, and I was in Mumbai, and my parents have been living there since so many years now. So when you're walking outside, it's like you're so busy in your own lives. Whenever your parents are constantly calling you to check on you if you're okay, and you're living in Mumbai all alone, and everything. And so my parents, my mom, my dad would keep checking on me, and I'd be, "हाँ mama, मैं बाद में बात करती हूँ. I will talk to you later, or I'm a little busy right now. I'm just preoccupied right now." We have all sorts of excuses to give family because we take them for granted, right? And I think this phase is when I think all of us learned to realize that, oh my God, they are the most important people in our lives.
True.
And we need to value that and not take it for granted and spend more time and more quality time. So I spent a lot of quality time with my parents while being away in two different cities. But we would be on video calls, we would cook together, we would play Antakshari. We had such beautiful moments together, which had been missing since so many years. So I think that's
Yes.
something I would take back from that time.
Okay. Okay. Well, last month also was a celebration for you. 16 years since the release of Jaane Tu Ya Jaane Na.
Yeah.
Does it feel like that much time has lapsed?
No, time is flying with it. Time is just completely flying. I don't know where. Oh God, I can't believe it's been 16 years, but it's so it's so beautiful to know that audience just have so much love for that film even today. It is still fresh in their minds. The kind of love that I have been getting for Meghna now. I mean, especially since the last 2 years. 2, 3 years, I've been getting more love for Meghna than I ever got when the film released.
Yeah.
I think everyone grew up from that time, and now I'm realizing and the importance and the whole essence of Meghna and what she went through, and they're understanding her character more now today than they ever did before. So I just feel so lucky I got that opportunity to play a character which is still relevant for people, and which they all really relate to in some way or the other today.
Yeah, I think I also was just wondering that, wow, 16 years has really flown. I remember watching that film, of course, with my family in the theaters and really loving it. Okay, final question to you before we let you go. Now, this show, we're featuring on you on today is about achievers and from different walks of life that we feature. So, one quick piece of advice that you'd like to give on your success mantra and budding actors hearing you today, what will you tell them?
I would just tell them, never stop learning. How many ever years you are in the acting business, or whatever field you are in life, whichever field anybody belongs to, I think there's always something to learn at every stage in life. And I think that's something that'll keep you fresh, and that'll keep you you know happy and refreshed, and revived all the time in your life. So I think that's the only thing I can say. And I need
Thank
more
you so
advice
much.
from other people. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Manjari, for joining us. And you truly are a success story. And we wish you more success with, of course, Chalti Rahe Zindagi right now, which, as I said, is on Z5. And it's a very relatable film. Let's hope you get much more love for it in the days ahead as well.
Thank you so much, Uday. Thank you for having me.